Call of Duty Zombies needs to be more competitive. What is going on, guys? Today I have a video here where I want to really go in depth talking about how Call of Duty Zombies can become something more competitive. And to me, I want that for many reasons. I find competitive games to be a ton of fun. I think there's definitely room for just casual fun, but there's a certain extent of competitiveness that really makes things a lot more enjoyable. I've always felt like that my whole life. I mean, I tried to make literally everything competitive as a kid, even in like middle school gym class or something. We'd be playing something as simple as volleyball, and I'd really go hard on it, not because it matters or anything, but it just is more fun when both teams really want to win and we really care about winning. Therefore, it becomes this really competitive match and it's exciting. And it's like, if you win, it's this really big thing. And if you lose, it's like, oh no, and you want a rematch, you want to try to beat them. I love that competitive nature, and video games definitely has that. I think multiplayer in Call of Duty is very big on that, especially in league play and such. Competitive COD, I think, is really fun. But Zombies is a mode that has never really been that. It's always been just casual fun, but the community themselves made it into something competitive. We turned it into that. It was never meant to be that. It was meant to be a co-op mode you play with your friends. They added grief mode in Black Ops 2. That's the closest to competitive they ever really added. But then the speedrunning community came out, the high round community, all these people who are trying to get world records. That definitely turns it into this competitive feel. And then we've had events. You've had Zombies World Championships. You've had Easter eggs for charity. And recently I took part in an event led by a bunch of smaller creators called Zombies for Charity. And it wasn't really meant to be a very competitive event. It was meant to be just an event for charity, but we're still in that competitive nature against other teams doing different challenges in Zombies. And I gotta say, it's a lot of fun. It makes Zombies something very different than it was before, because before it was just something casual, something you'd hop on, kill some zombies with some friends, maybe try to get to some high rounds and maybe compete like, oh, I got to round 35, I can only get to round 33, so I'm trying to beat that person's round. But then once we got to like 2012, 2013, that's when people started getting to like crazy high rounds with ease. Back in the day, if you got to anything past 50, you were like a god, right? And then now it's like, whatever, no one really cares that much. It's more about the speed. How fast can you get to round 100? How fast can you get to round 150? How fast can you complete this Easter egg? How fast can you do this? That is what the whole, competitive nature of Call of Duty Zombies is all about right now. But these are all community-led things. It's nothing that Treyarch themselves are doing. And I really feel like there's a lot of things they can be doing, or not just Treyarch, but Call of Duty in general. I guess Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward, if they had their Zombies modes, could do this as well. There's so many little things they could change in the game to make it way more competitive for these events and make it so it actually works as a whole and there's not as many problems that go on, because although these events are a lot of fun, at the end of the day, it never really feels like it's all about how good you are at Zombies, because there's so many other things that come into play. In Zombies, RNG is a big thing, obviously. You're gonna get runs that might not be very good, things might not go your way. Just by the very nature of Zombies, it is very RNG based. And I like that. I don't want them to remove the RNG factors in Zombies, because I think that's what makes Zombies so much fun, because it makes every game so different. You look back to something like Extinction. Extinction's not nearly as RNG based, it's a lot more linear, so that might work better for speedrunning. But the problem is, I find Extinction to be incredibly boring because it's basically the same every single game. You do the same exact thing no matter what. But in Zombies, because there's RNG in place, depending on what power-ups you get, depending on what you get from your box hits, maybe if you hit the Wonder Fizz, depending on different RNG steps of the Easter egg, it changes your strategy mid-game and you have to actually improvise. You can't just do the same exact thing every single game. You improvise depending on what's going on, and I absolutely love that, and I find that to be one of the funnest parts about Call of Duty Zombies, and that's why I love the RNG factors. But those RNG factors does make those events where you only have one attempt less competitive. So my idea here, something that Call of Duty can do in order to make Zombies a lot more competitive, are weekly tournaments. Now, what do I mean by this? A lot of other games have had similar things to this. I'm not too sure exactly what examples I'd want to pull up from other games, but there are many games that have done things like this. this is the only way I think it could possibly work in zombies. It can't be a one-day thing where you only get one try and that's it. What I think would be really cool is that every single week, they kind of cycle through multiple different challenges. They're challenges that they give the community and they tell you to do this. For an example, let's go to Black Ops 4. An example would be 9's Easter egg speedrun on solo. Simple as that. Now we can get more complex with these challenges later on, but this one's just a simple Easter egg speedrun on the map 9 on solo. And you would get as many attempts as you possibly wanted within that week period to get the best speedrun time that you can get. You have a whole week to do it, so RNG is not even a problem because you're going to get at least one good run within that week. There's no, unless you have, only time to do one run or whatever, but you're gonna have time, most likely, depending on who you are, if you care enough, to try and get your best possible time within that week. If you get enough runs, you can get a really good one, and then your skill is more important within that run. And there's these leaderboards that kind of post these people's scores. Now, maybe it'd be a regional thing. Maybe it wouldn't be like everyone in the entire world leaderboards, because then you'd see the same couple people winning, at most times, obviously. Maybe make it like a regional thing. So like in your specific region, there's like leaderboards for, and you'd have these top spots. And I would say maybe the top like 10 to 15 should get rewards, and obviously the first place gets like the best reward. And I think the easy reward would obviously be COD points. COD points are something that obviously have a lot of importance in Call of Duty because you have the shop, which has a ton of items that we all know and love and we all really want. We can't really get if we're not going to spend real life money. This would be a great way to give back to the community, give back to those who really put in hard work to try to get the best possible times in these challenges as possible. This is a crazy competitive thing that the community would absolutely love. You would have different streamers, different content creators trying their hardest at these specific challenges per week, and it would be something different every week. We would have diversity because one week it would be 9, next week it'd be Void of Despair, next week it'd be Dead of the Night. It would kind of cycle through the maps, and it's even better now in Cold War Zombies because all maps are free, so there would never be an issue of like, oh, I don't have that map. Everyone has every map now. And it doesn't have to just be Easter egg speedruns either. It could be like round 30 speedruns, round 50 speedruns, or just high round runs in general, like who can get to the highest round within this week in one match. Something as simple as that. Who can get the most amount of kills within one match? Maybe most amount of kills in total. Maybe it's like a sniper kills challenge, and it's just a matter of who wants to sit there and get as many kills as they possibly can with a sniper within 1 week. And they have separate leaderboards for that. So maybe like every week has 3 different challenges. One challenge that's kill based, one challenge that's high round based, one challenge that's Easter egg speedrun based. Something like that where it's just something different every week. This would ignite such a massive spark in the community. People would love this. People would be obsessed with this. They wouldn't care about having that much new content in the game because the community would come back every week to try out these new challenges and try their best to get the best possible time or score that they can so they can get the top leaderboard spot and get a reward. Maybe the reward would be like, I don't know, 2,000 COD points, 5,000 COD points even if they wanted to be generous. I'm not too sure what they would do. I don't think missing out on like, I don't know, couple $100 a week would be that big of a deal. I mean, I guess it'd be a little bit more than that because if you add it up, with the amount of COD points you'd be giving away from all the different spots, it'd probably add up to maybe like it depends how many regions you have, I guess. Like I said, the whole regional thing, it depends. But would they really care that much? Because I'm sure this would bring back enough players and keep players attentive to the game enough to the point where they would make that money back. People would be more willing to spend money on other things because they'd be playing the game so much more because they have a reason to come back every single week and grind something out so they can try to be the best player on a specific challenge every week. And you can get even more creative with them. I mean, look back to Black Ops 4's custom mutations. Imagine if the Easter egg speedruns weren't just solo Easter egg speedruns. They could do, a solo Easter egg speedrun, but with no perks, or with these specific custom mutation settings in place. Maybe it's like snipers only, headshots only, something of the sort. They could do 2-player, 3-player, 4-player runs as well. It doesn't have to be just solo. There's so much you can do with it. And the best part about it is that it's all in game. It's not something that you have to record with your gameplay, have your own timer up, and you got to make sure people watch it to make sure you didn't cheat anywhere. No, it's an in-game thing, so you specifically submit your game after playing it to something within the game itself, so there's no confusion there. And they can have actual timers. This is something that I don't know why they don't have. It makes absolutely zero sense to me why they haven't included this yet. They know people like speedrunning. Why wouldn't they have this? They can actually implement an actual timer in-game that we can put on our screen at all times, and it would make it a lot easier for us to know where our time is at while we're doing the runs. We don't have to put our own external timers in ourselves. That would be incredible, and it would be a good timer that wouldn't count, cutscenes and such, because I know the Black Ops 4 stuff, sometimes they counted cutscenes. It wouldn't count cutscenes, it would just count your time in game, and it would be the official way of counting what counts for these games. You know what I mean? That would be huge. The only issue here is obviously you have people who like to hack, who like to glitch. That would get a little bit fishy. Hopefully they would have a way to kind of prevent that. I don't know what their way would be, because I do think people would try to abuse different glitches and cheats and stuff. And obviously, Zombie World Records and all the other sites, they make sure to, make sure cheating and stuff like that is not allowed. So they watch the gameplay, make sure no one's cheating and glitching or anything like that. But if it's in game and it's, specifically sent there, I don't know how they could prevent that. That's not my job though. I'm just giving the ideas, and I think these ideas are definitely really cool ideas. I just don't know how they can accurately implement it with it actually working. But like I said, this would be a ton of fun, and it would work because it's not about RNG anymore. When you have as many attempts as you can within that week, it's about who has the dedication to try to get the best possible time that they can within that week. And I think it would make people who normally don't care about speedrunning, like myself, I really don't care that much about speedrunning. I find competitive zombies to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun challenges with it, but I only like it when it's in, event format and there's actual competition there. I know I'm not going to get many world records. I mean, I guess I could try, but I know I'm most likely not going to, so I don't really bother trying. But if you had events like this, which were like bi-weekly with a bunch of different challenges, I would take a swing at it. I would try my best. Maybe, it would just give me something fun to do within the game. And even if I don't win, it would still be fun to try and get your best possible time. I think this would be huge for Call of Duty Zombies, and it would definitely turn the mode into something much, much bigger. I really hope they take this route at some point. I really thought Cold War was going to be the game to take that route, especially after seeing all these events like Zombies World Championships. They know these events exist. They know they do. I don't know why they don't take advantage of it. Black Ops 4 tried. They talk about the Black Ops 4 authenticity stamp or whatever, but they didn't really do anything with it. I don't really know, what they're going to be planning to do in the future, but I just don't get why they're not going for that extra leap. I know casual zombies is much more popular than competitive zombies. We all know that. Less than 1% of the players probably even try anything competitively with zombies. Everyone's just playing just to level up their guns and kill zombies, really, but they have to try to care about these 1%, because this 1%, probably the people that are buying a lot of your stuff the most, probably playing your games the most. So I feel like that it wouldn't hurt the casuals either. A lot of the times they don't like to do things for that 1% because they don't want to hurt the casuals. Skill-based matchmaking is a good example there. Yes, removing skill-based matchmaking, or at least reducing it, would help out that 1% of the hardcore fan base, but it would not help out the 99% of the casual players who just play on the weekends and such, It wouldn't help those guys out. But if you try to make zombies more competitive with these different challenges and events, it would not hurt the casuals at all. They can still play zombies just the way they did before. It would just give us something extra to do, and it would be huge. It would be really huge, but there needs to be rewards though. Rewards are a huge thing. If you just give us like a calling card, no one's gonna give a shit. Let's be real here. I think people maybe would give a shit, but they wouldn't give as much of a shit. There wouldn't be much care there if you weren't getting some COD points at least. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. 2,000 COD points, maybe something. Just something that we can actually buy a bundle with so we can, use our points effectively. I don't know. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on my next one. Peace out.